YouTube? It's your girl, Jimmy Fink, and I just came from seeing Suicide Squad. I'm like a huge Harley Quinn fan, so I was excited. And once again, give me a second, because y'all know, I don't be knowing where the hell to look on the camera, so I be having to put on the shades. But anywho, so I just came from seeing Suicide Squad, and let me just say, I don't know what the fuck the critics was thinking. Like, that shit was motherfucking amazeballs to me. I fucking loved it. Tasty. I loved it. It was great to me. So, it's probably gonna be some spoilers, but first thing that I like about the movie is they are setting up the DC universe for their movies to basically be coming in order, like in real time. So the movie starts off with them, basically saying, well, what if next time Superman, or next time it's a meta-human, they don't have our values. What if it's an enemy? What if it's, so, like, it's a 2-hour and 10-minute movie, and I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it didn't feel like it was a 2-hour and 10-minute movie. I felt every fucking minute of it. It wasn't like, ooh, that's it, or, oh, this is dragging on. It felt like 2 hours and 10 minutes. Hence the reason why I'm over here backing fucking cigarettes, because I was needing the nicotine, because I went early so I could see the trailers and everything. I was in the line. Wait, I gotta tell y'all this little tidbit. So I was in the line. Now, mind you, I went to the 10:45 a.m. showing. And I see these people there, and I'm like, okay, y'all got to be going to go see, like, 9 Lives or, like, a kid's movie, because there was, like, this little girl that was, like, 7 years old. And, like, the guy that was, like, 13, and I'm assuming was their grandmother. I know I shouldn't assume, but it was an elderly lady, so I'm assuming grandmother. And they was in the line in front of me, and the little girl kept running her mouth, and I was like, and she went to the thing in front of me and said, I need 3 for Suicide Squad. Lady, did you do any research for this movie before you took this? Long story short, they left in the middle of the movie, and rightfully so, because for this to be PG-13, they got that shit off. Yeah, I'm an asshole, and I still wish it would have been rated R so we could have actually seen blood and guts. But it was some motherfucking murder, kill in this goddamn movie. Like, PG-13 my ass. I wouldn't take a 13-year-old to see this. I'm just going to keep it 100. Unless they already read the comic books and they know that it's violent. But if you were just going to see this because this was a comic book movie, no, boo, this ain't the movie to take your 12-year-old to. Not to me. Anywho, so let's get the big shit out on the table. People was worried about Will Smith because Will Smith tends to play movies that he is Will Smith. Though I was watching it and I realized it was Will Smith, his one-liners and his little smart-ass comments and shit, they worked for the character. Okay? They definitely worked for the character. Margot Robbie killed it as Harley Quinn. Like, that was my big thing. I'm like, all right, boo, I seen you in Wolf of Wall Street. I even seen you in Pan Am when you first came out, boo. Like, I didn't see Focus, but I'm just like, I seen The Big Short, but she was playing herself, and I'm like, all right, you pretty. You might be the next Charlize Theron out this bitch, because I'm like, you cold, I'll give it to you, but is you gonna do my girl justice? And she did. She did. I think she did a fantastic job as Harley Quinn. I like the way that she was, like, manipulative, because what people fail to realize, they forget, oh, it's the Joker's girlfriend. They forget, bitch used to be a psychiatrist. So, I did like that. I enjoyed that. I thought Jared Leto did a good job as the Joker. We'll have to see if there's a Batman standalone movie. I know it's a Harley movie coming out, so maybe he'll be in that. I'd like to see a little bit more of him, but I think the way they did it was right. I definitely think the way they did it was right. You have to excuse me, I'm thirsty as hell too, because I wasn't paying them damn movie prices, and I forgot to rest my purse with water. But Jai Courtney, like Captain Boomerang was like the funniest shit to me. Like the shit that he would do, like that's like if somebody, like once the end they realized he was like serving like 3 life sentences. I'm like, a motherfucker get free like that, that's exactly how he gonna act. And they was like, you free to go, and he just took off and dipped. I'm like, I was living for Jai Courtney in this. Like Captain Boomerang, good job. I'm sorry, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the African dude's name that did Killer Croc. I'd already seen, even like trending on Twitter, they was like, he set black people back. I disagree, because Killer Croc is supposed to be somebody from the swamps of Louisiana. And if you listen to like the rappers and shit out now, and like how they talk and how they is, I didn't see a problem with it. Like obviously you wouldn't be a well-educated dude because people always treated you like you were some kind of a monster, always kind of left you as an outcast. So you wouldn't be like well-educated. Like what did y'all want him to act like? When he asked for BET at the end, though, y'all, when they was like, any other request, he was like, BET. Motherfucker, fine being in the swamps, fine being in prison, like, but can I just get BET? Can I just see some asses clapping? I thought, like, the touches of comedy in the movie I liked. I will say, like, outside of that, most of the laughs for me came from Captain Boomerang. And a lot of that was because, and I know after Batman vs. Superman, they had to really wet our whistle for Suicide Squad. But I feel like some of the best one-liners and some of the best gags we've seen in the trailers. So, like, you know, they said it, and I was like, if I didn't know they was going to say that, that would have been a laugh, or I would have loved that, but I already knew it was coming. Yeah, what else? Like, the chick, Katana, they could have kept her. Like, she served no point. Motherfucker Viola Davis. That's a bad bitch. I'm a quote motherfucking Deadshot. He was cleaning up that shit because, you know, they ain't supposed to know what's going on. And they got compromised and she had cleaned up that shit. Had them wipe all the hard drives and went around and the FBI agents was like, pop, pop, pop. I'm like, oh. Y'all ain't even show Deadshot pop nobody like that. Like, oh. And he was like, that was gangster. It fucking was. I'm like, well, Viola Davis is an excellent actress anyway, but she did a good job. A lot of complaints. A lot of people was complaining about the ending or the villain who was Enchantress. I didn't hate it as much as other people did. I did hate when she was doing some weird. I'm doing it too much because it actually looked like I'm dancing. Like, it just looked weird when she was doing it. El Diablo was the fucking man. I ain't heard no review where nobody was talking about El Diablo. El Diablo was the motherfucking man in this movie. Like, he took me there, y'all. I love his character. I love his character art. Like, El Diablo was the shit. You know, I didn't see it in 3D because I knew, like, my vision is fucked up as is. I'm like, I ain't trying to do nothing that's going to give me a headache after 2 hours. I already had a headache because the air conditioner was on negative 100,000 trillion in thing. That's why I got on fucking jeans even though it's 91 degrees outside. I'm like, yeah, I can come home and put on shorts though. It's going to be cold as fuck in that theater, and I was glad I did. But the soundtrack of the movie, I should say. Some other reviews that were saying, like, certain songs didn't really work. I didn't have a problem with the songs in the movie. They didn't take me out the movie or anything like that. But, you know, I'm also, like, a Quentin Tarantino fan. So, you putting in pop culture music, and some people are like, it worked, and then sometimes it not, and some of this should have been scored. No, I was cool with it. I was cool with it being completely soundtracked by popular music. I was fine with that. It worked for me. Speaking of, also I saw the Assassin's Creed trailer, which I had seen it before, but like seeing it in the theater with the full sound and that Kanye song, that was dope. When they let Deadshot, when they was getting him out of prison, let me see what you can really do, and he was shooting the shit, and they was playing Black Skinhead. Like, see, like moments like that work. When they was playing Black Skinhead, and he was loading up all the different guns, there was another song Harley Quinn was getting dressed, and it was like, I'm trying to think, it was something about Freak, Super Freak. I was like, perfect, loved it. Harley Quinn got all the looks in the movie because, like, when her and Jared Leto went out, that golden... See, that's why you don't shop at fucking Hot Topic, because I hadn't even seen the movie yet, and they was already advertising the gold and black sequin dress, like Harley Quinn sequin dress, and I'm like, okay, is it just because it's Harley Quinn print? No, because it's gold and black. She must wear it in the movie, so... Obviously, I seen the scene when she wore the movie. I'm like, well, that's why that dress is for sale, and that's why I'm gonna buy that anyway, because it's dope. But... in any case, I like Suicide Squad a lot. I think the movie was really a lot of fan service. Like, if you're somebody that's going to be critical, which on certain movies I am. I was going into this for a good time. I wasn't going for, well, is this shit going to win an Academy Award? Is the plot all the way fleshed out? I wasn't going into it for that. I want to see some shit blowing up. I want to see my girl Harley Quinn. I want to see how the crew was going to work together, and I loved it. I will say this. The last movie I actually went to the theater to see. Is that right? Damn. I really don't. I work a lot. I'm sorry, Star Wars was the last movie I saw in the theater. Star Wars The Force Awakens. The last one before that was Kingdom and the Secret Service. Now, just going off of these three movies over the past 2 years, well, 1.5 years, that I've seen in the theater, which is only Kingdom, The Secret Service, The Force Awakens, and Suicide Squad, I still like Kingdom the best when I walked out of it. I will say I like this better than The Force Awakens. I did like this better than The Force Awakens, and maybe that's just because I'm more of a Harley Quinn fan than I am a Star Wars fan, but I am a Star Wars fan. But I like Kingdom the best, and that, but, so I'm just kind of giving you a gauge if you're watching this and saying, like, well, let me see if I'm really going to like this. That's my gauge for you, but I loved it. I didn't have a problem with the Enchantress. I didn't have a problem with all the popular songs in the movie. I didn't have a problem with none of that. I had a problem with Will Smith doing some Willisms. I didn't have that much of a problem with Enchantress. I really didn't have that much of a problem with Enchantress. Some things that I did have a problem with, these as like the biggest, baddest criminals on earth. And even after Ric Flair was like, well, this is what's going on, smashed they shit and was like, you free to go. The only one that took off and left was Jack Courtney, and the rest of them was like, no, we gonna stick around and fight. For fucking what? Especially Harley. Because I'm like, Harley, I knew there was something, spoiler alert, I already said that though, but spoiler alert, you thought the Joker died. So, and I understand like you was putting on this brave front, but you just went and kept on fighting like you just lost your dude. Like, the threat of you dying was gone to begin with because your shit was already deactivated. He did that. You could have walked in any fucking time. But now all of a sudden y'all all good fucking friends. Like, that was a little bit unbelievable. But overall, I give the movie a solid B+, A-. I would definitely say it's worth going to go see in the theater. I don't feel like I wasted my money, especially because I refuse to buy concessions. So as long as you ain't buying concessions and you got that good ghetto sneaking in the purse, or, you know what I'm saying, you get your feel for the 2 hours before your 2 hours and 10 minutes if you can wait. If you just paying the ticket, I say it's worth it. And I'm a cheap bitch when it comes to movies. So if I paid my full money for it, I would suggest for you to do the same. Anyway, that's really all I gotta say. I don't want to do the full spoiler video where I want to talk about everything. I just want to get that out there for any of my viewers that, want to see the Suicide Squad. And then I gotta let y'all know, right before the end of the thing, I am, like I said, a huge Harley Quinn fan. Like, I've already had this bat for 4 years. 4 4, 3, 4, I think. Well, it'll be 4 this coming Halloween because I was Harley Quinn a few years ago for Halloween. Yeah, I already had this. This ain't new. If you look at it, it's dingy as fuck. Because, like, yeah. Obviously, I got the hair going. I don't know if y'all can see the eye makeup. Nigga, the nails. Like, all the way into it. I'm such a fucking geek about certain shit. That was just all the way into this. And I take that back, I lied, because I seen Pitch Perfect 2 in between there, too. That would definitely be what I scored last, is what out of the 4 movies that I watched. I forgot I took my niece to see Pitch Perfect 2. So, over the course of about a year and a half, I've gone to the actual theater opening weekend 4 times. And Suicide Squad, I will definitely say, out of, now let me repeat that, those 4 movies, Kingsman, Pitch Perfect 2, The Force Awakens, and Suicide Squad, I'm definitely going to tell y'all that Suicide Squad was my second favorite out of all of them. And I'm going to have to see, because now I didn't even put this one out. I'm trying to smoke another one. I've seen the Kingsman again since. So I guess I'll have to wait till I see Suicide Squad again. Would I go pay another? I would have paid to go see Kingsman again. Like if somebody would have said, well, I want to see it, you want to roll, I would have paid to go see that again. I think if somebody was like, oh, you already seen Suicide Squad, I was going to ask you if you want to see it. I think I would pay to go see it again. As long as it was a matinee, I wouldn't pay full price for it. But I would go see it again in the theater. It was a good watch to me, and I know it's getting motherfucking red for filth online. But these is movie critics. This is what they're paid to do. These is cinephiles, which I'm a cinephile too, but this ain't my job. I don't got to be that critical about it. And I can go for a good, even though I didn't eat any, a good popcorn flick. And this was it. Like, I dug it. So, anyway, comment, let me know if you saw Suicide Squad, what you think, if I missed anything you might want me to do another video on. This is so strange. I don't know how this video is going to go because my bread and butter is the Drake and Joe Budden feud and fucking RuPaul's Drag Race, and this falls under none of that. But, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Peace.